I'm so tired of black people seeking white validation in black spaces.
Our problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about us.
You don't need their likes, their approval, their applause, or their validation. Stop shrinking for people who wouldn't even stretch for you.
We sit on our black ass and we act like white people are the Disney prince and princesses of the sea.
It seems that everything black people in America do, they base it around how white people think.
Isn't it funny how when we are in the black community, we preach progress until someone progresses past you, then suddenly they're acting white.
I hear y'all trying to find any and every reason not to work with each other. I hear y'all trying to find any and every reason not to participate, not to unify, not to cooperate with each other. Get over it. Whatever you build economically, that white man gonna come for it. You know this. We have all the historical proof to validate that.
Brothers and sisters, let's be honest for a second. For many black people, a compliment is not treated the same depending on who it comes from. When a black person is praised by another black person, it is often taken lightly. But when the same compliment comes from a white person, suddenly it feels bigger, more valuable, almost like it means more. And this didn't just happen by accident. This goes all the way back to the systems that were built during segregation and discrimination, where proximity to whiteness was treated as status, where being accepted by white society could literally determine your opportunities, your safety, even your survival. And over time, that mindset didn't just disappear. It was internalized. And that is what we are going to talk about today. I want you to watch these clips, and then as you're watching, remember to like the video. I will come back at the end with more insightful commentaries.
Our problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about us. And what we've always thought is that white America equal the same interest as us. That is not true. We always want to prove what good Americans we are. The very first man to die for the War of Independence in this country was a black man named Crispus Attucks. He was a fool because here he was dying for white folk freedom and millions of his brothers were enslaved in the very country. Oh, but we wanted to prove what great Americans we were. We begged the white folk to let us fight in the War of Independence and they said no. So we organized ourselves in bands of armies, training ourselves with our bare foot to prove to the white folk what great Americans we were. And finally they came and inspected our troops and said, good niggas, you can fight. And they had us fighting the Indians. Like fools, we should have teamed up with the Indians and take care of you know who.
Black folks, do y'all ever notice that we sit around and we act like we just need white validation at all times? We sit on our black ass and we act like white people are the Disney prince and princesses of the sea. Soon as a white person smiles at us, we turn into the customer service representative of the year. It have to be said, y'all. A white man can say, hey, how are you? And y'all teeth will pop out like y'all black asses in a Colgate commercial, cheesing so hard until your gums start peeling. But let a black person say, peace, queen, or peace, sis, or peace, brother, how you doing? And you ready to fight. Y'all the look on your face looks like somebody done stole your damn stimulus check or a paycheck or something. Y'all treat white people like they are made of pure gold and angelic angel dust is poofing out their ass. But treat your own people like a cellmate from a prison that owe you commissary. We do each other bad and we look at each other bad and hateful and spiteful. A white woman can ask you for directions and your black ass turn into Dora the Explorer with a map and a PowerPoint and a slide. Sure, Becky, you just walk down 2 miles north, take a left, and I'll even give you my phone number in case you get lost. Wink, wink. Just call me. I'll be right here waiting. But let Shaquanda ask you where the damn Walgreens is and suddenly you like Forrest Gump. Running for your car, looking down at your phone, acting like you don't hear nobody, acting like somebody done asked your ass to donate a kidney. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it, and I want y'all to start checking yourself in public. You do it unconsciously, not even knowing you do it. Some of y'all got an internal white approval syndrome, where validation only counts if it gets a pale stamp on it. We need to unlearn that mess. People have been saying this, y'all, for decades. They fear us uniting and becoming together as one people. Black people are not your enemy. Stop rolling out the red carpet for folks who wouldn't even give your black ass a paper plate at a damn cookout. I'm Dr. O, y'all, and I'm out.
I'm not black. I'm a Christian. What do you mean I'm not allowed inside of your all-white towns? I've been defending you. All right, fine. You can call me the N-word, whatever you want to. It's okay. Do I want to get buck broken? Explain that process. Yes, I have black fatigue too. But wait, I'm different. I'm the good one. Don't chastise me. Those blacks are so crazy. Like, I don't know. They just need to stay away from guns. They're not being racist. They're not. They're just speaking their minds and their opinions. You guys have to stop being snowflakes. George Zimmerman wasn't that bad. No, Trayvon Martin actually did hunt him down. Oh my gosh, I hate DEI and affirmative action too. We need to get rid of all of it. The civil rights, we definitely have to get rid of that too. Guys, he did give us stimulus checks.
And I better not ever catch another black woman on this here app parting her hair, proving to people by showing her scalp to people that that's her hair growing out her head. They don't ask nobody else to prove that that's their hair. And you're proving it to people on the internet, strangers. You don't have to prove if that's your hair. You don't have to prove that hair is growing out your head. That is nobody's business. I wish that we would stop doing that. Black women can grow hair. Newsflash. We're able to grow hair. Stop parting your hair and proving to people that that's your hair. That is none of their business. Stop getting on this internet and proving that. Now, if you want to sell hair growth products and that's what you need to do in order to get your bag, sis, get your bag. But if somebody get on the internet and be like, oh, that ain't your real hair, and you want to do another video just to prove that's your real hair, don't do that. Stop doing that. They don't ask no one else to prove that.
But of course, there's always one black person that explains in great detail exactly what we're talking about. And that is what has to stop. We don't have to explain our culture to nobody. It's like, if you know type of thing. We've seen a lot of people tell us that we don't have culture while profiting and monetizing and hijacking said culture. And we've seen a lot of people become very wealthy from just knowing a little bit about our culture. But yeah, the point I'm making is this. Don't explain. If they don't know, good. They don't need to know. Do not explain our culture to nobody.
The validation addiction ends in your 60s. When you're over 60, other people's opinions lose all power. Here's the secret no one tells you. You stop performing for an invisible audience. You post what you want, you wear what you want, you say what you think. The desperate need to be validated by others just evaporates. You become uncancelable because you're not trying to impress anyone. The freedom is almost reckless. Life gets better in your 60s.
Another quick message for us white women. Please stop asking black people to explain racism. You already know enough to start. Imagine men saying, I don't get misogyny. Can women explain it again, please? Every day, while women are living it. And that's what you're doing. So it's not education, it's just offloading the work. So if you're white, this is yours to figure out. Please read, listen, call it out, especially with other white people, because racism really doesn't need more explanations. It needs more people willing to challenge it every day.
I've been biracial for 41 years. And in those 41 years, it's been nonstop. When it comes to black people trying to categorize me and put me in a box that makes them feel comfortable, they always say these things. White people will see you as black. The one drop rule, made by white people. You're just black. White cops will see you as black. Their whole concept of race and how I should identify as a biracial person is based around how they think white people think. It seems that everything black people in America do, they base it around how white people think. They think more about white people than they do about black people. I could be talking about a book I wrote, or a movie I watched, or the weather outside. And without fail, a black person, 9 times out of 10 it's a black man, will jump into my comment section and call me a anti-mixed race slur, or say something about me being biracial, because they're obsessed with race and white people. Me, I don't give a damn about how white people see me. It's like I don't give a damn about how black people see me. That doesn't change who I am or my genetics. When I look in the mirror, I don't see a black man. I don't see an Arab man. I don't see a white man. I see a extremely handsome older biracial man staring back at me. And the black community is the only group of people that does this. You don't see other biracial people going into black people's comments and calling them anti-black slurs or trying to debunk their identity. Even though a lot of black people are confused racially, some think they're the original natives, which is, to me, is mind-boggling. Some think they're the original Vikings and samurais and everything else but black. You don't see white people coming into biracial people's comment sections and telling us you ain't white enough, you're not a real white person, you're a pretend white person. I don't see Hispanic people coming into my comment section, and I'm half Arab, I'm part of the Arab community. Arabs don't come to me and tell me, oh, you ain't a real Arab person. My interaction with Arabs are like this. I walk into a halal meat store, or an Arab store in general. They stare at me real hard for a minute because I look Arab, but also look like I'm something else, trying to figure out what I am. Then finally they approach me and say, oh, salam alaikum. Where are you from, brother? I tell them that my father is black, my mother is Arab. They smile broadly, give me a big hug, ask me if I want to sit down and have some chai tea with them. Then ask me if I speak Arabic, ask me if I've been to my mother's country. It's a whole different vibe, a whole different feeling of being accepted once they know I'm half of them. With the black community, it's just, you ain't black enough. Oh, that's your Arab side or your white side doing that. Or they say, like Dr. Umar has said, that we're a virus created by the white man to destroy the black community, when 9 times out of 10, it's black men creating us, not white men. Stop obsessing over race. Stop obsessing over white people and biracial people, and just live your lives. I'm proud to be half black. I'm proud to come from that struggle and that strength. I'm also proud to be half Arab. I'm proud to come from that amazing Arab culture. That's why I claim both. I don't hate half of who I am just to appease the black community. I love all of me, which is black and Arab. It's not us that's the problem.
Isn't it funny how when we are in the black community, we preach progress until someone progresses past you, then suddenly they're acting white. The second a black person gets more money, expands their vocabulary, drives a nicer car, levels up their life, suddenly they're assimilating. Do you realize that you're the one implying black people are beneath that? You're actually saying that excellence, order, and success belong exclusively to whiteness, and that is crazy. Why do you put whiteness on this pedestal? As if speaking clearly, dressing well, and being educated is their thing. There was a time where we dressed better than anybody. We were dapper, we were dignified, our music spoke of love, family, and responsibility. And when a man even thought about leaving his wife and kids, the men in the community came to his house and said, you're not just embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing us. That's who we were. And that's the standard colonization wanted destroyed. And we give into it every day. And that's why this is an us problem, not a give me more white people problem. You're still in chains, because freedom isn't about rebellion. Whiteness is not goodness. Goodness comes to whoever chooses it. My ancestors didn't fight so I could conform to this backwards thing you call culture. They fought so I could choose to read, to educate, to dress, to succeed, to fail, to leech, to have my own opinions. So pick.
So when I met you, I really thought for the first time ever, wow, I didn't know black girls could be pretty like that. I didn't know that black girls could be that pretty. So really, I was astounded. It took me back, and that's sweet. That cotton ball hit her with the "you was pretty for a black girl," and she said she over there cheesing and shucking, and said that's sweet. You know, my interracial dating theory videos are still up. They're undefeated. Now, black women done got mad at me when I talk about the pasta and lobsters. Black men done got mad at me when I talk about them chasing this. But I'm undefeated on this shit. I'm just saying. When I told y'all that y'all be thirsting for them, they really don't like it. Fuck with y'all like that. They really don't, especially when they're the ones that usually are the ones that the white women and the white girls and the white men really want. And they put, but then well, like a week ago, was it the girl, the black chick that was with, like, I think he was Indian or Hispanic or something, and she went and saw the group chat, and they was talking and saying racist shit about her. But y'all be so pressed to go chase and dive in the Hellmans. Y'all swear up and down, especially black women, with that loose leaf paper, that copy paper want y'all so bad. Y'all gonna wake up one day. It ain't gonna be today. It ain't gonna be tomorrow. But one day.
Somebody said, oh, you lost me at as far as Black America goes, saying that I sounded like I supported Iran's regime for a second. The same regime that wouldn't let me go walking around half naked. Let me first address the half naked comment. Beloved, I am a Black American woman. I am a direct descendant of enslaved African Americans and enslaved Africans in early Virginia. My family, my bloodline is 300 years deep in this country, okay? My ancestors were stripped naked, not by choice, and sold on an auction block by this country. The same country that you surprisingly want me to unconditionally defend. So when you come to my page and try to comment on my body, please make sure you come with something more substantial than this. My ancestors' nakedness was not their choice. Mine is. But secondly, naked where, bitch? Naked where? Hello? I did not say that I support Iran's regime. I did not say I support their government. I did not say I support the way they treat women or the way that they view LGBTQIA plus communities. As a bisexual woman myself, I understand nuance. But when I said, as far as Black America goes, Iran, do what you gotta do, baby, I meant every word. And I'm gonna explain to you why, not with my opinion, but with history. In 1852, Frederick Douglass was asked to speak about the celebration of the 4th of July as an African American man. And he said, and I quote, "This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice. I must mourn. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? A day that reveals to him more than all the other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is a constant victim." Frederick Douglass, the most celebrated Black American in the 19th century, said himself that the 4th of July, the celebration of the birth of this nation, was not his holiday. So was Frederick Douglass saying that he aligns with this nation's enemies and that he supports this nation's enemies' regimes? Or was he simply telling the truth about Black Americans' relationship with this country? W.E.B. Du Bois, one of the founders of the NAACP, in 1961, after decades of being surveilled by the FBI by having his passport revoked, being blacklisted, he renounced his citizenship as a United States citizen. Baby, he moved to Ghana. He said America had failed its Black citizens. Was W.E.B. supporting America's enemies' regimes? Or was he telling the truth about this country's relationship with Black Americans? Malcolm X, 1964, said, and I quote, "I am not an American. I am one of the 22 million Black people who are the victims of Americanism." Was Malcolm X supporting the United States of America's enemies and their regimes? Or was he telling the truth about the relationship between this country and Black people? The tradition of Black people in America giving this country unconditional loyalty has never given us as Black people in this country unconditional protection. So me as a Black American woman saying Iran, do what you gotta do is not new. It's not radical. You should not be shocked. This is history. I carry the same attitude as Black revolutionaries before me carried in regards to the relationship this country has had with Black people and the relationship Black people have had with white Americanism and white narcissism. Let me be clear, I do not support Iran's theocratic government. I've made entire videos talking about Iranian drones killing Sudanese people. I already said multiple times, there are no heroes in this story. What I was saying in very plain language is that Black Americans in America do not have the same relationship or may not have the same relationship as you might as a non-Black American with this United States of America. Because when the United States of America protects power, I know who pays the price, and it's usually people who look like me. It's always the most vulnerable, and it always has been the most vulnerable that pay the price. And as someone who belongs to a community who has always been part of the most vulnerable, I am not required to clap for the empire. I am not required to cheer for this empire to win and survive and prevail. The Black revolutionaries before me did not, and I will not. Now, yes, Iranian women have been in the streets fighting for their rights to exist. They risk their lives to have rights, and I see them and I honor them.
And I also know that the bombs that the United States of America dropped killed Iranian women and children. So when I said Iran, do what you gotta do, baby, I was not talking about Ayatollah. I was talking to the Iranian people. The same way I talk about the Sudanese people, the Congolese, the Venezuelan, Palestinian people. I'm not talking to their government. So when I say, Iran, do what you gotta do, I know that the empire must fall if we are ever to stop white supremacy or white nationalism and white narcissism in this country. And I know that it must fall if we are ever to bring and build back something better that benefits all of us, not some of us.
Black people have to confront something honestly, and it is not easy to say. We have to stop internalizing the idea that everything good belongs to white. Intelligence is not white. Beauty is not white. Success is not white. These are human qualities, and black people have demonstrated them throughout history. From civilizations in Africa to modern achievements in science, culture, and innovation. So why do many black people think that everything good belongs to white? Where did this mindset come from? It comes from centuries of conditioning. During slavery and segregation, proximity to whiteness often meant better treatment, more opportunities, and even sometimes basic safety. That created what we now call internalized racism, where black people started to associate value, beauty, intelligence with whiteness. And we still see the effects of that today, when someone feels more validated by a white man's compliment than a compliment from his own people. When phrases like "you are pretty for a black woman" or "you are smart for a black man" are accepted as praises instead of questioned. When success inside the black community is sometimes labeled as acting white, and that is not confidence, that is conditioning showing reserve. We can also talk about relationships too, because this way it becomes more visible. Studies and social observations have proved that interracial relationships are sometimes perceived wrongly as status upgrade, especially in societies shaped by colonial history, mostly in African countries and the Caribbean countries. But a relationship should never be about proximity to power. It should be about connection, respect, and shared values. The same goes for ideas around beauty, like preferring lighter skin, straighter hair, or mixed features. These preferences didn't just appear randomly. They were shaped by global media, colonial standards, and decades of representation that centered whiteness as the default. But now in these modern days, that era is being challenged. More black people are reclaiming their identity. More black Americans and even people across the African diaspora are now embracing their identity, embracing their natural hair, celebrating black culture, supporting black-owned businesses, redefining what success and beauty looks like on their own terms. And that is where the real shift is happening. Now, this is a message that goes to my black viewers. Value does not come from being accepted by someone else. Let that sink in. Value comes from what you build, what you contribute, your skills, your character, and your impact to the community. To y'all black people, instead of working hard to get closer to whiteness, try to build value within yourself and within your own community. Try to build your own value. That's the real mindset that all black people need, because that's the mindset that will build power within the black community in America, in the Caribbean, and even in Africa. So that was it for today. I want you all to tell me what you think about this video down there in the comment section. Why do you think more black people tend to seek validation from white people? I want your answer down there in the comment section. So, Mr. TA is signing off.